Good evening, televiewers. It's another great evening out here in Douala, the nation's economic capital, precisely from Gudron in Koto, where we are going to once again be looking at what is touching on our national life on Prime Hour. We this evening are going to be looking at the crisis rocking the Social Democratic Front, asking the question as to where lies the truth about what is threatening to destroy this one-time very famous opposition party in Cameroon. Who is lying and who is telling the truth? We are in the company of some SDF militants who are going to be shedding light on what is happening within their political platform. We also are going to be discussing with them alongside our permanent consultant, Apostle Ambe Valentine Ngwa. Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Prime Hour. Apostle Ambe, we are glad to have you.
Thank you, Mr. It's always a joy and a privilege to be here. Good evening to my co-panelists. Good evening, Cameroonians, and welcome to today's edition of this program. SDF is our focus.
We also are in the company of Chi Diodone, who is also a militant of the Social Democratic Front, all the way from Yaoundé, the nation's capital. Good evening, Chi, and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening to my co-panelists. A special good evening to the great family of the SDF, particularly the national chairman, Nijon Frundi, to whom I want to extend the very fervent support of a majority of the SDF militants. I want to also use this opportunity to remember the founding fathers of the SDF, those that died for this party, the 6 martyrs of 1990. I want to remember and recognize the efforts of the Mamite Kumbangs, the efforts of the vanguards, and the efforts of all the militants in the nooks and crannies at their various levels for all what they have done, and so much so that at this point in time, we're still talking about the SDF. I want to greet, of course, the candidates of the SDF who are going in for the senatorial elections in the northwest region, to extend to them the solidarity of the national chairman, the encouragements of the entire party and the national chairman, that they're going to succeed in their mission in that region, because I think and we know that even though the region is made up of a majority of CPDM councillors and regional councillors, the stakes are high, and the councillors know that the SDF is the right choice to make. It is the choice of reason. Once more, courage, dear comrades, and we're going to make Cameroon proud. We'll make the Northwest region proud. Thank you.
We also are in the company of Mr. Fopa Jean, who is coming all the way from Ambe division, Kumba precisely. He is a militant of the Social Democratic Front. So good evening and welcome.
Good evening, sir. Good evening to our viewers within and without the country, and especially I want to extend fraternal greetings to SDF militants in Kumba and those of the Southwest, and the yet to be militants, because the SDF is not just a political party, it's a front, and every Cameroonian is called upon to join the bandwagon for us to bring change, and change indeed in our country, Cameroon. I want to extend greetings to my mentor and icon, His Excellency Nijon Frundi, and all the NEC members for the wonderful decision they took, not even them taking the decision, but respecting the constitution to exclude those who have excluded themselves from the party. The SDF is a sleeping lion, and if you want to believe me, let's organize free and fair elections in this country. We shall beat Mr. Biya in his backyard. Thank you very much for inviting me.
We also are expecting Mr. Xavier Beleme, who is in charge of communication for the Social Democratic Front for littoral region of Cameroon. He should be on his way to our studio this evening. But I will start with you. Chi, let me start with the militant. What is not going well within the Social Democratic Front? 33 persons have been excluded, and we know that some militants were in the court today in Yaoundé. They took the chairman to court. What is not well with the Social Democratic Front?
Well, Mr. Leo, before I answer your question, I want to make a brief correction.
Okay.
The comrade you presented, Mr. Xavier Beleme, is no longer the communication secretary for the littoral region. All regions are under coordinations that have been put in place by the NEC. So all regional executives have been dissolved. And you shouldn't make the mistake of presenting anybody coming to present himself here on your panel as a regional executive of the SDF. Please take note of that. Anytime you find them, put them back to order so you don't fall into trouble with the SDF by making misrepresentation. And they themselves, they know what they are exposing themselves with to continue such disorder. Having said that, what is wrong with the SDF? First of all, I want to highlight that there are issues of legality, of course, which you have heard people raise, of decisions that are illegal and all that, and then you're dragging the party to court. I want to state, Mr. Leo, Section 7 sub 2 B of the Constitution of the SDF. In that section, it is said that once you adhere to the SDF, you agree to respect its rules, its regulations, directives, and decisions that are taken. And these rules, regulations, directives include when you have a problem within the party, you have accepted that once you have a problem within the party, you must finish all the possibilities of solving that problem. That means right to the convention. That is your duty as a member, Section 7.2 sub B. So, people who are crying foul about illegality, I cannot be a judge of the illegality of the acts of the chairman or of the NEC. The national chairman is presiding an institution. He has the legality and legitimacy to take decisions, because many of them question his appointments and all that. He takes those decisions as the national chairman of the SDF, exercising his constitutional prerogatives. The National Executive Committee is a legal institution of the SDF charged with the management of the activities of the SDF at national and international scope. So, when they take a decision that you do not agree with, you know the ways of appeal. But take note that while you are appealing, their decisions are legal until you prove the contrary. And the fact that you are not in accordance with a decision does not invalidate that decision. That decision remains in force according to the party's constitution until invalidated by competent organ of the party, which at this level, considering what we are talking about, it is the National Executive Committee, NEC, or the convention, which is yet to come. So the chairman is in his role, the NEC in his role. When you want to talk about issues of illegality, you will therefore see that people will fall under grievous illegality, which is so clear, because what they are accusing the National Executive Committee of, what they are accusing the national chairman of, they are yet to prove it, and such proofs are to be established by the party. But their own illegality is so clear. First of all, the constitution of the party is very clear that if you make unauthorized publicity about party issues on media and all that, it is sanctionable. The constitution is very clear that you cannot create parallel structures within the SDF. When you now hear people sit and call themselves G27, G27 is not recognized anywhere in the SDF. You media men sat and heard how people came or went on a press conference to officially boycott NEC and said that they are a pressure group within the SDF. I don't know whether the SDF harbors a pressure group. The SDF is an institution that is charged with the aggregation of demands. We accommodate all ideas. And if you are there and you think that there are proposals to make, you follow the right channels to make your proposals. We are moving forward towards a convention. And at that convention, normally after 32 years of the existence of a political party, many reforms are awaited. Those reforms will come in at the level of the convention, because the convention is the legally established entity to modify substantially the policies of the SDF. That is modifying the constitution. Meanwhile, before the convention, the National Executive Committee is the boss as institution of the party, and the national chairman, who is an incarnation, we must say it, the national chairman, when he is acting within his prerogatives as national chairman, he is an institution which people must respect. So one of the problems is that there are people who think that certain decisions are illegal, but they have not taken the time to prove the illegality following the constitution which they swore to respect in its section 7 sub 2b, which states, I will respect all rules, regulations, decisions, directives of the party. And one of those rules is that if you have a problem, you exhaust all the possibilities of solving your problem within the party, and that ends at the convention. At this point in time, we are not at the convention. But unfortunately, some people think that we should be in court.
So people think that we should be in court. Apostle Ambe Valentine, you're observing what is happening within the Social Democratic Front. You have read what the papers are saying and also gotten what people are saying in the quarter. Not too good for the party at this time.
Not at all. You see, SDF is that political party in this nation that everybody thought, and people are still thinking that they could be the light in the midst of darkness, because SDF has been that only shining light from time immemorial that has given the political landscape in this nation a contestable platform. As a matter of fact, before the SDF ever came, there was no politics in Cameroon. The CNU was a single party that had no contestant. Then the CPDN came up, that became the law of all. Then SDF came to teach us party politics. SDF came to make us understand that there's democracy in Cameroon. SDF came to champion another move that was challenging the status quo. Everybody, as a young man, I was dancing under the rain behind SDF. All over the nation, we had SDF. And Frundi worked very hard. We must appreciate that. For the elections that were rigged in the year 1992, and Frundi called for a calm, that there should be no war, I applaud him as a democratic technocrat. And he has played that role in this nation and must be respected. And I think that if they are called democracy, this is in one definition, it's Frundi. If somebody has practiced democracy in this country, it's Frundi. And I would really appreciate that. But of late, I can tell you, I'm no longer comfortable with what's happening with the SDF. The SDF is like the hope of most Cameroonians, especially those from the English extract, is being dashed to the floor. Because what is happening in the party and the recent developments has caused a lot of us to start asking questions if at all there is going to be another political party in this country. SDF is a political party that has threatened the existence of the ruling party. No political party, including the ones that are coming up right now, have ever threatened the existence of the ruling party like the SDF. As a matter of fact, that's one political party that came in this country. Both Anglophones and Francophones welcomed that party, embraced the party, and the party was able to win seats in parliament, local government, councils in different areas in this nation. But of late, I can tell you that SDF has been dwindling and dwindling and dwindling, and it has now become like a byword or a proverb. And because of the internal fight that is taking place inside the SDF, it is affecting it terribly. I will give reference to other political countries. For instance, the PDP party in Nigeria has been a very great party in that nation until internal fighting came. The person who is contesting in Labour Party came out from PDP party, that's Obi. The person contesting for Atiku Abubakar, the person also who left to form NMPP parties coming from PDP. You realize that if the votes that went to Kwankwaso and the vote that went to Obi were gathered this year and given to Atiku Abubakar, there would not have been any war in Nigeria or fight over elections. There would have been a clean and clear landslide victory. That is exactly what is happening now with the SDF. This internal fight, splitting people from place to, whether we accept it or not, the persons who have gone out of SDF have a following. Whether we accept it or not, the people who have gone out of SDF has affected the party. because the person who left is Ninche. Ninche is a parliamentarian, and a parliamentarian is somebody who controls the constituency, and that constituency has people that believe in him, and there's an executive bureau in that regional aspect of that town, and the town he's inside is a commercial capital that has huge population of this nation. So whether we accept it or not, there will be pride and arrogance that they should go and burn in the bush, they should disappear. There is a reality. These people who are leaving the party is affecting the party, and it's not comfortable, it's not healthy. To me, it's not too late for them to sit back behind us and put these errors into order.
Yeah, who should sit back behind us?
The chairman is a head that drives the coach.
So the chairman should call them and
They should talk behind bars.
Yes. But do we have the impression, Monsieur Xavier Bellemé?
Yes,
Bon,
c'est mon nom.
bonsoir et bienvenue.
Oui, bonsoir, merci et je m'excuse du retard parce que j'ai eu d'autres difficultés pour arriver ici.
Ok.
C'est ma première fois.
Oui.
Parce que je cherchais comment vous trouver, malgré les indications qu'on m'avait passées, j'ai dû faire au moins 20 à 30 minutes.
Ok. Oui, ça ne va pas dans le SDF, c'est quoi? C'est pourquoi l'honorable Nietzsche était au parquet aujourd'hui, non? À Yaoundé. Qu'est-ce qui ne va pas avec le SDF?
Oui, merci de l'invitation. Bonsoir aux compagnons, notamment à mon jeune camarade Dieudonné. Et je vous remercie beaucoup de cette invitation et je salue vos très nombreux téléspectateurs qui nous suivent en ce moment. Effectivement, il n'y a pas à faire la fine bouche. Le SDF, mon parti, est en train de traverser une période extrêmement grave, mais qui n'a pas commencé aujourd'hui. C'est au lendemain de la présidentielle 2018 que cette crise donc commence. Ce n'est pas aujourd'hui, malheureusement. On a laissé prospérer au lieu de prendre des initiatives qui amènent à refaire, à reconstruire le parti et à mettre, parce que le chairman avait les moyens physiques, énergétiques et moraux pour pouvoir régler ces problèmes. Malheureusement, il a laissé prospérer pour des raisons tout à l'heure, je vais expliquer. Mais en tout cas, ce que vous voyez aujourd'hui dans le SDF, ce n'est pas un fait anodin. C'est une orchestration savamment bien menée qui en réalité, c'est deux visions, deux groupes antagonistes. Donc il y a un qu'on appelle le G22, le G27++, et l'autre qui s'appelle le G3. En réalité, le G3, c'est le chairman John Fundi, l'honorable aussi, et l'ancien maire de Kumbo, Donatus, qui est le vice-président de la commission de reconstruction du Nord-Ouest. Ça, le G3, c'est un groupe extra-minoritaire au sein du NEC. L'affaire part de quand? C'est au lendemain du double scrutin 2020 que ça commence à prendre bien corps. Quand l'honorable Nietzsche s'attaquait à la gestion de Covid-Gate, et certains camarades, dont le camarade ici sur ce plateau, trouvaient qu'il perd le temps en dénonçant le fait de détournement de 180 milliards qui était destiné de sauver les Camerounais. Ouais, donc, et ça nous a donné un peu plus de conscience quand l'honorable aussi a organisé un séminaire à Kibi, à l'hôtel de sa maman, de ses parents. Et j'ai eu l'ainsi honneur d'être invité, Chi n'était pas. À l'occasion de ces séminaires, beaucoup d'autres étaient, je ne suis pas le seul, l'actuel secrétaire général, puisque vous pouvez l'appeler, Maître Adeline, pour vérifier si ce que je dis est faux. Alors, on nous a donc présenté une personnalité ressource au cours de ces séminaires, lui, Marie Cagde. Bon, je le dis pour que vous vous retrouviez plus facilement. Et on nous l'avait présenté à l'époque comme un expert en questions électorales, surtout présidentielles. Et que c'est lui qui avait trouvé la formule en Côte d'Ivoire pour que le président Pabo devienne président de la République en Côte d'Ivoire. C'est comme ça qu'on nous l'avait présenté, qui sortait tout fraîchement de la Côte d'Ivoire. C'est plus tard, je me rends compte que c'était un vulgaire imposteur, c'était pas vrai. Et alors, la formule donc que moi j'attendais en tant que militant et que cet expert en question électorale, surtout présidentielle, qui est un faisait de roi, devait donc nous présenter dans sa formule magique comment le SDF va prendre le pouvoir et chasser le RDPC. Mais plutôt, dans son graphique qu'il avait fait, c'était de nous montrer que non, là où on est, notre seule voie de sortie est de se fondre à l'intérieur du RDPC. Qu'on n'a pas la chance de s'en sortir.
On vous a dit ça?
J'ai dit, lui, Marie Cagde, vous pouvez l'appeler, vous pouvez appeler Honorable aussi, vous pouvez appeler Maître Adeline, vous pouvez appeler lui, Marie Cagde, qui est actuellement ministre chargé du cabinet du SDF, vous pouvez appeler d'autres camarades qui étaient notamment Jean-Robert Wafo, le maire Achille Azemba, Maître...
En tout cas,
Maître Haute, je vous donne un peu...
Oui, je vais essayer de contacter ceux qui étaient...
Voilà. Donc, c'était pour nous montrer le bien fondé du SDF aujourd'hui, qu'on n'a pas de chance de s'en sortir, si ce n'est de se fondre à l'intérieur du RDPC.
Okay.
Donc, parce qu'il faut situer la situation.
Oui, parce que d'après ce que vous
maintenant,
dites...
donc, pour démontrer qu'actuellement, il y a ceux qui pensent qu'il faut aller au RDPC et ceux qui pensent que non, le SDF a une vision, un programme est déterminé et qu'il faille revenir et rebâtir le parti sur ses fondamentaux, sur sa vision politique naturelle. Malheureusement, c'est ceux-là qu'on dit qu'ils sont dangereux. Ils ont le vide. Et ils sont les plus nombreux parce que l'acte qui est au tribunal, tout à l'heure, vous avez demandé, vous avez vu l'honorable Nietzsche au tribunal, oui, effectivement, il est il est parmi les cadres qui ont assigné le parti au tribunal parce qu'il n'y avait plus de voie de secours contre 4 résolutions. Pour demander donc que, comme nous, à l'intérieur du parti, nous n'arrivons pas à nous entendre, à mieux comprendre nos propres statuts, nous avons fait donc appel à un juge civil pour qu'il nous aide à nous faire entendre raison. Si les 4 résolutions querellées et certains actes posés par le chairman et autres membres du comité exécutif sont des actes qui sont réguliers et conformes avec l'esprit de nos statuts, alors le juge va les déclarer comme ça. Je ne sais pas pourquoi ça crée problème. Quand vous ne vous entendez pas, c'est tout à fait normal. Vous saisissez une personnalité neutre pour vous amener à la raison. Et maintenant, on dit que les traîtres, c'est ceux qui ont donné le 8-2. Ce n'est pas ceux qui ont reçu le 8-2. Et qui sont d'abord les plus nombreux parce que là-dedans, on a créé une majorité factice au NEC parce que l'honorable aussi et le président, le chairman John Fundi, étaient extrêmement minoritaires au NEC. Pour créer donc une majorité mécanique et artificielle, on a donc nommé des personnalités.
Monsieur, he is saying that Frunzi, Ossi, and John Donatos are minority who are struggling.
Groupe 3, groupe G3 contre le G27 plus.
G27, they are struggling to impose their ideology on this G27 who are a majority in the party. Do you understand that?
I think that he's just trying to give a dog a bad name.
Okay.
The national chairman represents the entire SDF family. He is there as the national chairman, and he was elected democratically. I don't see how some few 27 people, like I told you, are not up to a word, who challenge the authority of the national chairman of a party of a country. You don't take internal matters to the marketplace. What has that creepy meeting got to do with internal rules of the SDF? Those are people who just... I want to tell you, Mr. Kum, to be frank with you, it is selfishness. People are looking for means because the national chairman has announced his departure. And so they are trying to give a dog a bad name. They say that O.C. Joshua is dealing with. We are all Cameroonians. O.C. Joshua has a right to interact with every Cameroonian, irrespective of his political leaning. Is it today that Joshua was elected from Douala?
But don't you think that his frequent meetings with the guys of the CPDM could also raise the worries and people perceiving that he is wanting to take the party to the CPDM like he's saying?
Let me tell you something, Mr. Kum. When I was a kid in Womb, I used to see Ndele and Jongbu Foncha in the same vehicle. The highlight, or the camera is the highlight from the vehicle. Ndele will come and preach as an opposant, and then Foncha will speak in the courts here. This may be a lawyer for the complainant and the other man for the accused. But when the way they speak in court, when they come out, they are friends. We are not enemies. Joshua has the right to interact with whoever he wants. The bottom line is he respecting the norms, the principles of the SDF? That is the question. If they have been calling them in neck, they say they are accusing Joshua. Come and give proofs. There are no proofs. You go and sit on the fence and you are making noise. To me, they are noise makers. The bottom line is they are fighting over the throne of leadership in the SDF. So they are trying to give names, accuse people unnecessarily.
But you live in Kumba.
Yes.
Do you hold meetings within in Kumba to look at what is happening in Douala, Yaoundé, and what are the militants saying back there?
I think we know that they are not the first. We have had people who have been self-excluded in the party through A2. We have professors, we have even secretary generals. They are not the first. And when you look at the strength of the SDF, these people don't even constitute 1% of the demographic.
No, but he says they are the majority. You can't.
Which majority? They are majority in which aspect? When 25 people go and sit in a place, do you want SDF to also, the chairman to bring his own majority, or the mayor of Banso? No, they are a clique of frustrated people who wants to. I want to tell you that these people. Yes, I'm telling you the fact. These are people who want to give a dog a bad name. What has the chairman done? He has the, like he said, he's the only one who has to appoint shadow cabinet ministers. They say he should go around and... You want him to go house to house to meet people before he appoints his ministers? Is this the first time he's appointing ministers? For how long has Ninche not been going to NEC meeting? For how long has the Secretary General, who is from Buddha, not been going to NEC meeting? So want the SDF to fold his hands and be waiting for them. And then when they take decisions, they assign you for a party assignment to Garua. You take a flight and go to London. And then you come back and expect the SDF to be clapping hands. Ninche is a militant like any other person. And to say he has the following, we are in the littoral region. How many councils has the SDF in the littoral? Where is a parliamentarian? Have we a council there? No. How many councils? He has been there for how long? If you want to count yourself a credible militant of the party, you win elections. The Secretary General comes from Buddha, from Babutos. How many councils are in Babutos division? How many? They come and sit in Douala, they form, pick people from here and there and say there are 25 people, as compared to what? We have millions of...
Yeah, but these guys will tell you that we are the founding fathers. Nietzsche is not a pushover. Honorable Ahudu Baya is not a pushover. There is always this issue of wanting to exclude those who call themselves...
Mr. Leo, let me tell you something. Whether they are what they were made out of, they are what they are is thanks to the SDF. They were elected parliamentarians thanks to the SDF. You cannot buy the finger that fits you. If the national chairman did what, he has told you the modalities to follow. But you go and sit in the marketplace, you say the national chairman ordered 90 millions from SDF. Can you justify? You say the national chairman did this, that. Those allegations are unfounded.
Okay. Monsieur Pidem, juste...
bon, moi je vais juste faire d'abord une observation. Quand vous m'avez envoyé le conducteur, le monsieur en face, il sent pas son propos, je me rends compte que c'est un militant SDF.
Oui, il est SDF. Il est venu de combat.
Oui. Voilà, vous ne m'avez pas prévenu. Je suis au courant de Chidier Donné et d'un autre qui n'est pas là, à Bama, du RDPC, que je ne savais pas. Bon, de toute façon, ce n'est pas que ça me gêne, mais je fais juste une observation. Que je ne savais pas que le monsieur sera là. Et puis de deux, et ce qu'il raconte, c'est les querelles du Soukati. Moi, il ne vient pas ici pour faire le débat des querelles, je suis ici pour parler de problèmes réels. Il est complètement déconnecté de la situation. Je comprends pourquoi il sort de combat. Seulement à Kumba, il y a des problèmes de sécurité là-bas. Il peut ne pas être au fait de l'actualité. Et c'est normal parce qu'il raconte des choses, des querelles de cuisine. Moi, je ne suis pas venu, je suis ici pour parler politique et non pas pour venir me quereller avec un camarade qui sort du coup que ce soit. Donc, j'ai un grand respect. Mais il y a une situation, et lui, et personne n'a jamais remis en cause que le chairman n'est pas président national du SDF. Ce n'est pas de ça qu'on débat ici. On dit que le chairman a violé les statuts du parti, monsieur. Et l'OSM n'est pas sa propriété, camarade. Écoutez-moi, vous avez parlé, je vous ai...
Montez-moi, voici la question, montez-moi là où il a violé. Parce qu'il a nommé les membres du Shadow Cabinet. C'est son droit.
Calme-toi, camarade. On n'est pas là pour s'écrire.
Il a violé.
On est là pour débattre des
quel article?
Citez-le. Si vous voulez vous
tu dis que je sors de l'autre côté.
Si vous voulez vous quereller.
Tu es plus SDF que moi.
C'est pas ce que j'ai dit.
Comment tu dis que je sors dans...
Je dis que vous êtes déconnecté.
Autrement dit, tu vas dire que le national chemin fait ça parce qu'il sort de Bamenda, là où il y a la crise. Ça, c'est un injure, si tu ne sais pas.
Il a même fui pour abandonner la crise pour venir...
Non, il fallait rester là. Il fallait qu'il reste là-bas.
C'est pas de ça
le tue. Comme ça, vous allez applaudir.
Le plateau. Il parlait deux fois. Je parle au moins de choses.
Non, c'est M. Chic.
Non, je n'avais pas terminé mon propos.
Ok, allez-y.
C'était
Non, please.
Je suis en train de dire que le chairman, il est poursuivi pour avoir violé les statuts. C'est pour ça qu'on a amené l'affaire au tribunal. Non pas en tant qu'individu fondi. On attaque les résolutions du NEC. Donc lui, le président national, on ne l'attaque pas en tant qu'individu. Les membres de le G27 attaquent les résolutions. C'est un procès en civil.
D'où sort ce truc des G27? On a eu ça, il y avait G11.
C'est un courant de pensée, comme tous les partis sociaux-démocrates dans le monde, le parti socialiste. Tu as à l'intérieur plusieurs pensées. Les gens il y a plusieurs courants de pensée. C'est une tradition des partis sociaux-démocrates universellement connue. Et quand si vous lisez l'histoire de ces partis, vous allez voir. Voilà. Donc, directeur de communication.
Don't distract him from the flow.
Je dis donc que c'est courant. Et ce groupe a fait, avant d'arriver pour saisir le juge, Ce groupe dont je ne fais pas partie. Je ne suis pas membre du G27, mais je suis entièrement solidaire avec les revendications. Parce que ces revendications, il faut être un nouveau militant pour ne pas comprendre. Moi, ça fait 31 ans, le 10 mars 1992, que j'ai acheté ma carte à député IDF. Ça fait 31 ans, le 10 mars prochain. Donc, ce qu'ils revendiquent est fondamental. Ils ont fait un tour de Bouddha, ils ont fait un mémorandum qui sont adressés au chairman. Que le parti est en train d'aller très loin et bientôt il y aura les élections en 2025. À cette allure, si on continue, même 1% n'aura plus. Mais même un seul conseiller. Mais il dit que l'honorable Nietzsche n'a rien fait dans la région littorale, mais pourtant, si on parle même du SDF aujourd'hui.
On a combien de communes?
Ouais, monsieur, arrêtez.
Non,
citez-le.
Let him land.
À Kumba, on a combien? À Kumba, on a combien? Dites-moi, là vous sortez. Justement parce que les résultats.
Kumba a toujours gagné les élections, toi-même tu le sais, depuis 90.
Monsieur Koum, si vous m'avez appelé, c'est pour depuis... Moi, il va me lever, je vais laisser les gens s'éclairer.
Si ce n'est pas la crise anglophone, tu vas te comparer à Kumba.
Moi, je suis venu ici débattre des idées et non pas... Vous pouvez supporter que chacun dise un mot. Il y a quelque chose qu'il dit, quelque chose qui ne tient pas. Tu attends, quand tu prends la parole, tu repars. Mais s'il faut qu'on soit comme ça, puis pour...
Monsieur Bell, il faut...
Non, donnons à Chi parce que je vais revenir après. Il va...
Yes, Mr. Chi, from what we are getting from him, there are two currents flowing within the Social Democratic Front. Are we in the middle of a fight of succession of the national chairman, John Fundi?
Well, they have always been currents, probably many. But what I will not like to accept here is for Mr. Beleme to be calling people G. If they invented a certain vocabulary G, should not come and say the national chairman is in G3, you people are in G27. You are supporting G27, and it's very important, comrade, that you remind yourself section 7 sub 2b of this constitution. You are bound by this constitution. Whether you are in solidarity with people, even some of those people in G27, they are people I know very well, but I remained an SDF militant and I am bound to back this constitution. So if you're coming here to communicate on behalf of G27, you know what you are exposing yourself to. It was just to call your attention. Now, please, let me, please, I'm talking.
Non, ne me menace plus.
I'm talking.
Non.
Je vous menace pas, je vous menace pas.
Arrête ça.
Vous confondez.
Non, ne me dis plus.
Quand on vous je vous rappelle, non, c'est votre...
à quoi je m'expose. Mais vous voulez parler à ma place?
Qui vous...
J'ai dit que je suis un homme libre. Et je réponds de ma conscience uniquement. Et je respecte les statuts du SDF. Vous m'avez menacé.
Je vous rappelle l'article 7.2b. Je vous rappelle juste que vous devez respecter les statuts.
Mais je respecte les statuts.
Et que vous sachiez ce qui vous attend. À quoi vous exposez.
Vous pouvez pas me menacer, petit.
Ça va. So I want to say that when our televiewers... Depuis que tu parles, je ne parle pas.
Mais ne me menace pas.
Je ne vous ai pas menacé. Si. N'inventez pas le mot menace. Peut-être vous passez le temps à menacer les gens. Je ne vous ai pas menacé. Vous êtes menacé parce que quand on vous dit la vérité pour vous c'est une menace. Je ne vous ai pas menacé.
No,
cela dit... Est-ce que je peux parler? So, I want to say that the currents of ideas have always existed. But the problem is that you should not make a mistake between currents of ideas and the position of the party. The position of the party is that which is precise by its constitution, its manifesto, and piloted by the institutions and the authorities of the party. I have already demonstrated a while ago that when these people are talking about issues of legality, until the case that they are having talking about illegality is verified by a competent party structure, those decisions are legal and enforced. They are the ones that are in grievous illegality, forming structures that are not of SDF, taking SDF issues to the media. You hear the language he's talking about, the national chairman. The so-called Anglophone problem has become a commercial, a political capital for some people. You hear the language is talking. He said, the chairman are free. The chairman run. When you listen to somebody from the SDF say this about the national chairman on air, you begin to understand. There is so much I know that I cannot say here. But when he tells you, you should understand what they are made of. You should know what they say about the chairman in private. These are people that have lost total disregard for authority, total disregard for the text of the SDF. They want to create their own text. They maybe think that it's legitimate, that they may think that the text needs to be touched.
What is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong for a group of people who are within a political party like this, to think that things are not going well? This is the direction that we think the party should move. What is wrong in that?
No, there is nothing wrong. It is even what we encourage. We have had so many so many constitutional modifications thanks to the fact that people think divergently. But when you think divergently, come back within the canals of the party. Mr. Liu, as I'm telling you, we are awaiting a convention. And within that convention, there is what you call the Constitutional Law Committee. Many amendments are going to be made. If you have problems, as I've told you, Article 7(2) sub B, it says you have agreed to respect rules, regulations, directives, decisions of the party, which means that even your problems, and in our constitution, we have so many sections for appeal. Appeal to the neck, appeal to the higher structure, appeal right up to the convention. We have all those avenues have been provided because we know that, of course, the national chairman is not an angel, just like any other person. Mistakes could be made, but when if mistakes are made and proven that they were made, now you go through the party mechanisms and see what we can do. The party is not made up of people who are too perfect. Having said that, there are a lot of lies that are being said. First of all, he told a lie here that I, probably with the national chairman and others, stood against Honorable Nietzsche in whatever way against his criticism of the COVID gate. It is a blatant lie, sir. And for respect to your age, don't say that here. Because Cameroonians who are watching us know the position even of the national chairman with respect to this COVID gate issue. And I dare summarize him. The national chairman, once he was interviewed, he cried. He said, in a country where people are living so bad, in a country we are facing a pandemic that is killing all over the world, people steal in this country, and even the money that is made to save the lives of people, they still steal the money. Some of these people, they need to activate the death penalty for them, because if people will steal money meant to treat people, it means they want to kill those people. That was the reaction of the national chairman. And at that time, you were regional secretary for communication for the littoral, but you seem not to know about it. But I know you know about it, but you don't want to say it because today you are so frontal for some reason against the national chairman that I'm sure maybe if you see him, you hold him with your hands. It is very, very unfortunate to come and lie about the national chairman. It's very, very unfortunate to come and say the national chairman ran away from Bamenda. You people have taken the so-called Anglophone problem as a means to insult so-called Anglophones. And you claim that you love them. You know the efforts that we have put in to resolve the so-called Anglophone problem. You know what the national chairman has gone through as a leader because of this so-called Anglophone problem. And it is not from you as a militant to come and sit here and say, the chairman are free. Go and live in Kumba. Since you are so comfortable in Kumba, go and live there. Go and live in the northwest and southwest and do whatever you want to do before you come and say the chairman are free. It's very unfortunate. Having said that, Mr. Leo, there is something which is very important to highlight. You know, without cancelling the fact that demands that are made there are pertinent issues that are being raised. And I must tell you that some of those pertinent issues we will debate on them as a family. And the exigency is that we should debate on them. The national chairman has made efforts. Maybe he's not telling you about them. We have made efforts to talk about this thing. To meet them and talk. Behind, as Apostle was saying. The last time we had a NEC meeting, the national chairman, they mentioned the issue. They said no, they want to meet the national chairman, but in private. Right, decisions were taken at the NEC meeting. No, one thing they think is that because they have posed a problem, the party should come to a halt. They solve their problem first before the party move. So the NEC took resolutions. After every NEC meeting, it is sanctioned by resolutions. The NEC took resolutions, which of course they think that those resolutions further did not favor them. But those resolutions did not cancel the meeting they had with the national chairman. That was the next day after the NEC. They got up the next day after the NEC disappeared. They didn't come to the meeting. What is the case? Oh, the national chairman should leave and run and go and follow them. I don't know. They come here, they will not mention the efforts that the national chairman has made. I'm just telling you that amongst many efforts, to be able to talk to people that he knows that he has done. So, please, very briefly, when he talks about original SDF, SDF frontal, SDF this, SDF this, please, Mr. Leo, you are a journalist and you have the right to edify the people. Ask him, where can he prove to you that they organize a march in Douala to oppose something that is going wrong, to stand against something that is not right for this country, and the national chairman said, no, we have never done that. They are free to organize. When they were at the regional executive, they were free to do their things the way they do, organize their march. You know, the SDF is functioning. We are already practicing the federal system of government, where the different regions have an acceptable level of autonomy. They can take some certain actions. And there are precedents. They have done that over and over. And most often, and even all the times even, when they do the right thing, the party comes back to back them up with NEC resolutions. And the national chairman, in his very strong outings, he backs up such actions. But you see, people just come here today, and the national chairman is to be diabolized. The SDF is nothing. It's very, very unfortunate.
Apostle Ambe Valentine Ngwa, not too good for the party. How do we even, from what is happening, you can already start making readings that
yes.
I ask a question whether what we are saying is the battle for the succession of Frundi, which you do not answer.
Yes, Mr. Leo, the truth is there is a battle for succession. And Frundi has demonstrated true democracy. In the first place, he dropped as the flag bearer of the party, which is very rare to find. There are some traces you see in a leader you can applaud. I don't like twisting things. Rare in this Cameroon to see somebody still being alive, yet he drops flag bearership over a party. Frundi has done that nobody has done. Frundi is going to the next stage to step out as chairman of a party when he is still alive. He's not dead. He's nowhere to be found. I'm telling you, in Cameroon, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in other countries, difficult. Now, this chairmanship is where the battle is, because the first battle was to be the flag bearer. I think this battle started since from the place of who will be the flag bearer. These people will not tell us. This war started when they went to Bamenda.
I was there. I followed the convention from start to finish.
To be the flag bearer. That's where that battle started. As that battle, as Osi became the flag bearer, that was when now tension started rising, started rising. After that incident, there is a particular level of distrust between these two persons. A group of people believe that Ninche is dragging the party towards MRC. Another believe that OC has negotiated with the CPDM. Now, when it is time to accuse Ninche dragging the party to MRC, a group of persons say, no, Ninche is working for the interest of the party. And when they say OC is selling the party to CPDM, another group fight. This G27 is the people who believe that OC is selling the party to CPDM. That's their reaction. The other group also believe that Ninche wants power because he wants to amalgamate the party with MRC Bamileke brother. The third thing, we are talking about Anglophone, Francophone challenge. It's not just nationally, it's at the level of the party. To them, the Francophones, Anglophone could not be a chairman in the beginning, then handing over another Anglophone is coming. I'm telling you from my own analysis. That's the battle here. So this chairmanship now must leave the English section and come to a French. I'm talking about what happened also in Global Frontiers Church. Global Frontier Church has been headed in this country by Anglophone many years. Francophone rose up that they will seize all the branches. What talk about national disintegration is very serious. Finally, they went to the Ministry of Territorial Administration and the church was handed to a Francophone man. That was when peace came. Why the Anglophone became vice president. So I think this division from backgrounds, you come from Anglophone background, Francophone background, there is a serious, these people will not tell us this thing here, but I will tell you as somebody who does not belong, as not part of the SDF, I will tell that this is the observation. Because from every indication, there are signs that Ninche is going towards Kamto. And those who are following Ninche will never accept that he's going towards Kamto. And there are also signs that OC is moving towards CPDM. Because to them, OC works close with CPDM. There's even a possibility that OC can accept a ministerial post in this country that's trading the interest of a party to satisfy his personal interest. So there is this trust. To me, if I were to be the chairman, I would dismiss OC and Ninche. They are the bone of contention because the rest of the persons behind them are just followers. Those are the head of the train where the coaches are following. Those 27 people on the G27 are behind Ninche. This other team is behind OC. Clear these two people. If I'm the chairman, I will clear OC off. I will clear Ninche off. Then I will fix that party with the new group of people. That's the wisdom that the chairman was supposed to use. But the chairman is that attached to OC to the extent that it is creating this jealousy because it's like his preferred political son. That discrimination as a father, you don't practice that. Even among your children, if you've lost somebody, you don't come publicly and display it. You will cause war in the house. And I think from my own point of view, I haven't followed this SDF for some years. This is exactly the canker worm eating this party.
Ok. Monsieur Bellemé, d'après ce qu'il dit, et je ne sais pas si vous avez bien suivi.
Allez-y, essayez quand même de résumer.
Non, il est en train de dire que sûrement il y a ce problème entre Nietzsche et aussi, et c'est ça qui crée problème aujourd'hui dans le SDF. Mais est-ce que l'honorable Nietzsche, après l'exclusion par la NEC, par le NEC, il a fait un communiqué, je crois, à le 27.
Il a écrit au secrétaire général, ce n'est pas un communiqué, il a fait une lettre au secrétaire général de l'Assemblée nationale, c'est ça que vous voulez parler?
Non, pas de ça. Il a dit que ceux qui ont pris, l'instant qui a pris cette décision n'a pas qualité de les exclure du parti. Est-ce que c'est vrai ça?
Non, et ça, il faut d'abord, c'est un autre mensonge.
Ok.
Que je vais dénoncer ici. C'est un mensonge préparé par le G3.
Okay.
C'est moi qui appelle comme ça G3, le chairman aussi et autres. Et puis c'est un fan club qu'ils ont tout autour, comme mon jeune, comme le jeune camarade ici, chez Dieudonné, qui font partie de l'Far West. Et donc c'est un des fan clubs avec les deux qui sont ici sur ce plateau. Je voudrais préciser que l'honorable Nietzsche n'a jamais écrit la lettre pour dire que ceux qui ont pris la décision du 8-2 était illégal. Mais par contre, le G27 a fait une déclaration pour dire que ceux qui ont pris la décision d'appliquer le 8-2 au G27... Non, il n'y en a pas. Il faut placer... Le G27, ce n'est pas Nietzsche. Ne réduisez pas ça à l'individu de l'honorable Nietzsche contre...
L'autre côté, pourquoi vous ne dites pas que ce n'est pas aussi, ce n'est pas Frunzi, c'est le SDF?
Je suis en train de dire que... Oui. J'ai dit bien, parce que vous ne m'avez pas suivi. J'ai dit que ce n'est pas un débat entre aussi contre Nietzsche.
Ok, allez-y.
Non. C'est le G27 qui a fait une déclaration au lendemain du NEC qui s'est tenu à Yaoundé. En déclaration que c'est un NEC illégal, qui n'était pas régulier de les appliquer le 8 heures. Que cela n'a jamais existé. Ils ne sentent même pas qu'un 8 heures a été pris contre eux. C'est le G27, c'est-à-dire que 34 personnes. C'est-à-dire G27 plus, ça a donné 34 personnes et ces 34 personnes ne reconnaissent pas qu'il y a eu une réunion du NEC samedi dernier. La preuve en est. Je vous prends un exemple. Et c'est bien quand le camarade a fait allusion à ça. Le NEC s'est tenu samedi dernier. Vous avez lu les résolutions, non? Vous avez vu une seule phrase dans ces résolutions qui dénonce le refus du gouvernement de trouver la résolution à la crise anglophone. Surtout après la médiation du Canada. Moi, je n'ai pas lu, peut-être que j'ai fait l'erreur. Et bon, et de Dieu, est-ce que depuis vous avez vu le NEC dénoncer? Allez-y, peut-être que je n'ai pas lu. Peut-être la version anglaise est différente de la version française. Et comme je ne lis pas l'anglais, peut-être que dans la version anglaise, ils ont dénoncé cela. Je prends un exemple. Et puis de deux, le monsieur de Kumba dit que, je ne sais pas quoi, qu'ils se sont étonnés que moi, il dit que le chairman a fui. Ce n'est pas ce que j'ai dit. il ne veut pas dénaturer mes propos quand je suis assis sur le plateau. Le chairman a fui bel et bien, il réside à Yaoundé parce que la région du nord-ouest et du sud, les deux régions, sont en insécurité. Et c'est tout à fait normal qu'il se retrouve réfugié. Mais au début de la crise, il était l'une des rares personnalités de sa dimension qui résidait à Bamenda. Donc en plein milieu de la crise. Mais après, maintenant, il s'est senti plusieurs fois attaqué, il s'est réfugié à Yaoundé. Et donc, il faut heureusement que le parti avait conçu une résidence pour le président national. Ça, c'est pas pour ça que je suis ici. J'ai dit donc que la situation actuelle dans l'OSF est une situation qui est simple. Il y a ceux qui veulent amener l'OSF dans le RDPC. Et ceux qui ont demandé, ceux qui ont eu le 8-2 de ce faux nec de samedi, ont eu le 8-2 sur le seul crime qu'ils ont dénoncé la dérive actuelle et demandé qu'on revienne sur nos fondamentaux. Voilà les seuls crimes. Et vous savez lesquels on a sanctionné. D'abord, le seul parlementaire sur les 180, l'honorable Nietzsche, qui donne du tournure au pouvoir. Le chairman l'exclut. Il signe, honorable Nietzsche, il signe.
Aoudou Mbaya, on l'exclut.
On excuse. C'est moi qui vous dis. Actuellement, à l'Assemblée.
Je reviens, on prend let's take a brief break. We're coming right back.
Nsungkikang, 75 ans sonnés, elle est la pierre angulaire de l'autonomisation des femmes de sa région natale, le sud-ouest, en proie à des violences sécessionnistes. Un climat qui ne freine pas pour autant son élan de femme autonome et fière. Martha Nsungkikang est présentée par les siens et son entourage comme la mascotte, au mieux l'icône de l'entrepreneuriat féminin domestique. Autodidacte, Martha Nsungkikang a pu partager son savoir-faire avec plusieurs femmes devenues aujourd'hui autonomes.
Women empowerment. Madame Mofa, he tell me, say, you date on group? I say yes. He say, founder no? I say yes. He say, bring the group for inside women empowerment. So I bring the group inside women empowerment. So the woman empower we, begin to teach we waiting for do, how we go grow inside the women empowerment. From soya beans, I did do plenty things. I did do soya beans, meat, what they call, I say tofu. I did do the flour, what they call, I say powder. I did do the milk, the liquid milk out of soya beans. Then I did do cake, akra, out of soya beans. I learned how to make cassava products for day. For day, we learn up to spaghetti, the maker for corn, maker for cassava. For corn, I make corn biscuits, corn cake. Women empowerment, they send me again for Limbe, for learn soap, medicated soap, cocoa soap, liquid soap.
Les lauréates du programme Femmes autonomes et fières de Beaufort Light étaient avant sa découverte par la marque, connue pour sa touche personnelle dans la commercialisation du poisson frais, communément appelé Munyanya, avec un capital de 500 francs comme fonds de son activité.
Yeah, they call me Munyanya because I sell fish. I sell wet fish. I go beach, I bring fish, I sell them. So when I the tonton for sell the fish, there's some small picking, it will the hala from my Munyanya. Now for day that name for Munyanya, you don't come. But then a big fish or put out any kind of fish, mololo, I sell them. But that picking the cast, they call me Munyanya. My name goes to any fish na Munyanya.
Son génie novateur l'a conduit dans la transformation et fabrication des produits dérivés du manioc et des brochettes de soja. au niveau domestique. Aujourd'hui, grâce au soutien des Beaufort Light, via le programme Femmes autonomes et fières, elle a pu moderniser son activité en s'octroyant du matériel utile à ses productions.
La Beaufort Light, they improve me so. The taste what they give me, I use and plenty. I make juice out of the milk. The what they give me, I make pineapple juice, pawpaw juice, orange juice, guava juice. So now that one way it make brasseries they make away. I learn them again for make with that property what they give me.
Entreprendre a toujours été un défi pour la septuagénaire de Buea. Des témoignages à son sujet en disent long. De la formation de ses proches à l'industrialisation de son savoir-faire, Martha Modiokwe-Kame est le prototype de l'autonomisation des femmes, du moins celle de la région du Sud-Ouest.
We deal with Mami Mata Kama for our group. She is very excellent. We don't learn a lot from her.
We glad plenty for which way brasseries before liked the do for we. Man like me, I make na fufu product. That's cassava. I make water fufu. I make miondo. I make bobolo. I make even the whether na mutumba the color. Yes. So as the one so we join all we do am. We know all we for do am. Then na hands they know the when mommy they do am, we can't help it. But the one way I be specialized on the now only miondo.
I used to buy from Bamba Munyanya. They get plenty of product the way they make like soap. The soap would take and wash pan, wash clothes, even bathe with them.
She has been producing so many of these products. She produces biscuits, chinchi cake, milk, eau de javel, so many of those things, and we really love them. That is why we recommended them here.
L'entrepreneuriat, elle semble l'avoir dans ses veines. À ses débuts, la commercialisation du poisson frais, communément appelé munyanya, lui a ouvert, ou du moins donné l'envie, de poursuivre sa destinée. Une aventure ô combien dangereuse, dans cette partie du Cameroun où la peur habite les populations du fait de la crise sociopolitique qui embrasse les régions du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest.
We are together. So we go glad. Picking here. Now I be my work I stick for old age. Now I don't old. When I get for carry work for before. So as I do pray, then God give me again 2 days. Make I teach them more.
And I will give you.
So we thank God plenty for see even this day of today. May God bless Beaufort Light. May they carry their work go before. I thank God plenty.
Martha Modiokwe-Kame vient de Buea, chef-lieu de la région du Sud-Ouest, où l'un des ateliers pratiques du programme Femmes autonomes et fières a été centré sur la transformation des épices. Mama Mounia, comme elle se fait communément appeler, a été l'heureuse lauréate du chèque d'1 million de francs CFA offert par Beaufort Light des boissons du Cameroun.
When it's mealtime, there's one ingredient you will hardly forget. The one that changes everything, that makes it special, that sparks it up and puts it all under control. Up to March 31st, Canal Plus makes your TV hot by offering you the most exciting programs of the moment. Watch the hottest matches, the hottest series,
la nourriture rapproche les cultures,
the most exciting movies. Right now, benefit 15 days free on all Canal Plus if you resubscribe to your formula. Enjoy yourself. Are you ready for this? Oh yes, you are.
Welcome back. You're watching Prime on my Media Prime. Before we took that break, we were with Mr. Beleme, who was developing some points, answering my question as to what is happening within the Social Democratic Front. Monsieur Beleme, on était en train de parler comment le parti est en train d'être mené dans deux bateaux différents.
Oui, j'étais en train d'expliquer avant qu'elle soit coupée sur la qualité des militants qui ont été sanctionnés.
Oui.
Même quand la sanction est anti-statutaire, comme elle a été déclarée, et ça va aller dans le tribunal, parce qu'on suit la procédure au niveau judiciaire. Mais je vais expliquer à ceux qui, à vos auditeurs, les qui sont-ils. Un, je vais parler de l'honorable Nietzsche, qui est l'unique député sur les 180 à l'Assemblée nationale, qui donne du tournée au régime en citant un peu les plus récents, c'est l'événement les plus récents, notamment Covid-Gate, Can-Gate et autres. Ça, c'est plus récent. Et de deux, il y a le professeur Ndiva Kofelekale. C'est un professeur agrégé de l'université. Il est membre de la cellule des conseillers du NZD, le père fondateur, Founding Father. Et que, quand vous aurez le truc, vous allez dire... Ndiva Kofelekale est une personnalité ressource. Et un parti politique comme le nôtre a besoin qu'un président national d'un parti politique comme le nôtre prend son bic, dit que ce monsieur, je l'exclus du SDF. Il faut qu'il soit habité par un esprit maléfique. De deux, Madame Chantal Kambio, vice-présidente de l'Internationale socialiste, la deuxième organisation politique mondiale après l'ONU. Le président national du SDF l'exclut du parti. C'est incroyable. D'abord, notre parti a des problèmes de représentation du genre. C'est difficile de trouver une femme qui est aussi engagée dans l'OSF. C'est très rare. Madame Emiliane Keze, ex-vice-présidente du Sénat, il y a 2 ans, parce qu'on l'a enlevé toujours pour ça, pour des raisons de règlement de compte, qui n'ont rien à y voir des idées politiques, et exclu du SDF. L'honorable Jojo Mombaka Emmanuel, ancien commissaire, parce que certains disent ici que c'est le chairman qui a fait des militants SDF, des députés et autres. Honorable Yoyo a été commissaire d'immigration à Douala. Il a démissionné, abandonné tous ses avantages. Il est député de Ndonga Matum au nord-ouest. Il a abandonné tous les avantages liés à son projet pour être. L'honorable Chitumaza, il était député SDF, le dernier président du groupe parlementaire à l'Assemblée. C'est un ingénieur de télécommunications. Il était au cadre au ministère des postes de télécommunications. Il a démissionné pour entrer au SDF. Il a abandonné tous ses avantages matériels pour être militant SDF. Tu l'exclus du parti. L'honorable Fopoussi Fosso, inspecteur principal des impôts, ancien chef de centre régional des impôts. Je vous prends un exemple. En 2019, le comité, il y a une résolution qui a été prise concernant la crise anglophone. Et bien auparavant, le SDF, le groupe parlementaire SDF à l'Assemblée, a bloqué tout un premier ministre en l'empêchant de prendre la parole tant que la question anglophone n'est pas inscrite dans le débat à l'hémicycle. Et qu'aujourd'hui, un temps plus tard, le premier vice-président national, candidat du parti à la dernière élection présidentielle, avant, dans un tract de militants RDPC à l'Assemblée, associé à la signature du SDF. Et l'ONEG lui-même a condamné, et lui demandant, lui en signant de renouveler, d'enlever sa signature. Il est passé dans les médias et dit que c'est faux, que l'ONEG lui a jamais demandé ça. Et que s'il lui était ramené de le refaire la seconde fois, il va le faire. C'est qu'elle a la commission du NEC de pouvoir renouveler. D'ailleurs, ces commissions, on les dissout, on dissout 10 régions, et on nomme 10 représentants qui sont tous du nord-ouest, qui sont Bamenda. Il décrit tout à l'heure l'injustice des anglophones, dont les anglophones sont victimes, dont je suis d'accord que les francophones utilisent les anglophones. Mais c'est la même chose que le chairman veut accorder. Il nomme 10 présidents régionaux qui sont tous des anglophones, alors que le SDF est un parti national. On ne peut pas, c'est intolérable. Moi, je suis un francophone, je suis militant depuis 30 ans, depuis 31 ans. Et je suis en 3 j'avais 19 ans. Essayez d'ajouter 19 ans sur 31 ans. Vous allez voir l'âge que j'ai aujourd'hui.
We see in this battle a fight that is bigger than
on nomme 10 anglophones sur 10.
There's a fight.
10 régions. Donc voilà. Si je dis
can I have the floor now? I want to say that My friend over on the other side of the glass is just trying to give a dog a bad name in order to hang it. The G25 has been singing to the top of his voice. It's not an organ of the party. It's a group of...
C'est un organe, on peut dans la diversion, c'est pas un organe.
C'est pas un
organe. Vous avez parlé...
Personne c'est un organe.
Let's
and so, any decision taken by that group of persons is null and void. It is not an electoral district, neither is it a regional bureau, nor even a ward. So if people have their grievances, it should be taken to the right quarters. We are not saying that the national chairman and OC are saints, no. They too may have their shortcomings. But ask him how many... He went and met Ngwasiri and others in Yaoundé, that he wanted somebody who could champion the cause to create a party to fight for the Anglophone cause. Everybody cited the name of Frundi. When I met Ben Mukom met him, Frundi was at the time constructing the site where PMS is in Bamenda. He said you should give him some time. And then when the time came, these people were meeting systematically, house to house. They were made up of Bafuchu people, Batibo people, and the only person who was Engi is Dr. Carson Anyangwe. These are the people who came up. Anybody like Barrister Ashu. Barrister Ashu only saw the light of the day when he was appointed by the Douala population to represent them in the Constituent Assembly that took place in Bamenda, to prepare to formally launch the party. The fact that he implanted the party in Douala does not make him a founding father of the party. So anybody out of this are just impostors. These are the 11 people who incarnate the creation of the SDF. So if anybody comes and tells these are them, you want to see the first executive elected from that Constituent Assembly. Madame,
il y a beaucoup de choses que le chairman, parce que vous ne vous reconnaissez pas.
Dans ce qu'il était dans les années 90.
Oui. Je peux parler maintenant.
Oui, parlez.
Okay, I will start by saying that by 1985 we had a one-party system in Cameroon. Baseless, because as at now, until an election were held during the convention and then a new members were elected, can he say that? But for now, he's at the helm of the party and has a right to take any decision that has to do with the day-to-day activities of the party.
Okay, Mr. Chi Dieudonné, why is it that SDF that wants to give lessons to the government can't fix its problem within? Because almost everybody is talking about your issues in the public space.
Well, Celio, to our televiewers, we have made a lot of efforts. I just point out to you, and we are determined to make more. And when we are making more, we are not just focused on a few individuals. I have so much respect for what the people that my comrade Mr. Xavier Beleme was mentioning, their profile and all that. I have so much respect for what they have done, but I equally have much respect for the Mamita Kumbang father in the village, because the people should not make the SDF feel, let it make people feel like because I am this, I just settle and I can now do whatever because I used to be this, I came in and all resolution to come and say here that the NEC is not criticizing government, and the SDF strongly condemns the government's inability to bring a lasting solution to the ongoing crisis in the northwest and southwest regions, and reiterates our urge for the government to take a bold political decision to bring the crisis to an end. With respect to the Canadian talks, they instructed the shadow cabinets against to make further findings with respect to these talks and inform the NEC. Those are the resolutions of the SDF. And somebody comes here to tell you that they never existed. Somebody comes here to tell you, oh, parliamentarians hold sessions in parliament, but he fails to tell you that we had senators and parliamentarians, Damawa, West, and all that. When they were going out, NEC commissions were going out, these people, so-called francophones, all of them were on the field. He mentioned Mayor Nang Cyril, which I appreciate the fact that he's somebody who is very close to the field. But I want to ask you, when last did you see Mayor Nang Cyril in NEC? So what are you trying to explain? You want that because Mayor Nang Cyril is very performant in Bafusam, automatically to you, He should be appointed to go and reorganize the party when he does not come to NEC. And you know that deliberately refusing to come to NEC is non-respect of the party's constitution and is liable to sanction. Yes. You know, if we want to apply the constitution of the SDF, if we have to apply the constitution of the SDF, it will be terrible. So many of those names that you mentioned, I don't want to go to the details. You know many of them that have not attended next, but you know that the national chairman, with his ill health, with you will never sympathize with, as you see here, the national chairman, when he displaces himself, he rushes and comes back because the party. But you know those of them that are convening a NEC meeting, you are with him as a national chairman and a secretary general that you appointed. He signs a communique convening a NEC meeting. But
man, Joe Weber is going and another is coming. The young man in the studio, you are welcome. Okay, educative and informative. Thanks to my media prime. Please, can you ask the speaker who spoke on behalf of the SDF to share his number for people who would like to join the party? I don't know who you are asking. Is it Mr. Chi? Yes, I don't know. Once more, good evening, Mr. Liu. I think any organization without discipline will just be like what we are seeing in our country today. Mr. Mbianda is writing from Bawok. Good evening to all of you in the studio. Those against the SDF are not for the SDF. We know their mind. The truth must be spoken. The young is a future chairman, another Weber. Okay? God created SDF and so-called G27 are fighting a lost battle. We, the grassroots militants, are behind the original SDF. The G27 should rather create their own party like others, okay? Barrister Ashu, etc. I stand for Article 8.2 for now. Good evening. Very good debate comes from where the SDF, the so-called G27, has nothing to offer, okay? What is happening now in the SDF will instead strengthen the SDF. Watch my words. I'm not a prophet of doom. Thanks for the Prime Hour program and the able host, Mr. Kum. But persons are asking for you to remind them of the founding fathers. So there are so many persons who have asked. They want to know the founding fathers. Because no, please. No. I'm not toléré that, Mr. Chi.
It's okay.
Je suis en train de dire qu'au congrès de Bafoussam, qu'on avait décidé, il y avait plusieurs résolutions. Pour ça, au départ, le SDF ne connaissait pas les coordinations départementales parce que le système fédéral ne connaît pas des préfets. Dans le système fédéral, on a la mairie et on a l'État fédéré et l'État central. Et pour adapter donc le découpage territorial du SDF, on devait donc installer une structure qui devait faire office face au préfet parce qu'il y avait les préfets. C'est pour ça qu'on a créé la coordination départementale. Tu ne peux pas le savoir, la coordination départementale. C'est pour ça qu'elle n'est pas un comité exécutif, elle est un bureau. Je dis que c'est au cours de ce même congrès qu'on a donc élargi pour donner au parti l'assise nationale. Les 11 pères fondateurs qui citent, c'est ceux qui ont lancé le parti le 26 mai. Il faut faire la différence. J'ai dit qu'il y en a.
Platform with him at Equinox one evening. There was an MROC guy, there was a PCRN man, I was there, and he was there from the SDF. The challenge, I told him, I said, all of you here have one common enemy. The PCRN man was trying to talk down the SDF. When we went for break, I told him that no, your enemy is not SDF. Your enemy is a party in power. It means all the political parties here should join their effort unanimously is to sabotage who is in power. To drift your attention from the party that's in power to be attacking SDF here, it means people even don't understand what the political game. Because the real enemy against any other political party in the country is a party in power. So if PCRN is insulting SDF, it's an insult to the political landscape of the country because the politicians are not technocrats. Now, I am on a platform not with PCRN, not with MROC, but with people who are bearing the flag of SDF. Then the SDF are divergent in views, which has come public. They are sabotaging each other and they are talking about founding fathers, that this group knows a group of founding fathers, this other group knows another founding fathers. That tells you that SDF is experiencing implosion instead of explosion. When the cells of the system that were destined to defend the entire system start fighting against the system, it means that system is suffering from multiple sclerosis. And that is where SDF has found itself right now. SDF is suffering from multiple sclerosis. The cells that were meant to defend an Anglophone party than the National Party. That is where the battle is. I'm not saying that is what people are thinking. I'm telling you what those who are agitating are thinking. Now, look at it. On the other hand, there is another political party that is influential, because SDF has been the only political party in this country. MRC equally has come up, and PCRN has come up. You will realize that there is this tribal affiliation. Whether we like it or not, tribalism, nepotism, and ethnicity is one of the major rules or major problems in politics. This tribalism attachment between Ninche and Kamto is another source of problem. So if you look at it critically, the issue is, if this OC Joshua of a man that is so attached to the CPDM, so that's what they are saying. That is attached to the CPDM.
It's an allegation.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what they are saying. Yeah. That is attached to the CPDM, because that's what they are saying. That he drags the party more into CPDM than making it an independent party. Because the man say SDF is a subcontractor to CPDM. Nsungkikang. C'est la parole qu'il a utilisée ici. He says it's a sub. On a hear that French. He says SDF is a subcontractor to CPDM. That's a very strong statement.
No, it's not all SDF. SDF for
G3. G3. Yes, G3. Voila. It says it's a subsection to the CPDM. So there are people within the SDF who believe that they are using them as elements to achieve their goal. If OC wants to become a minister in this country, he shouldn't use us SDF militants as his own personal interest. He should be the source of the problem.
That's what you try.
If there are 10 regional coordinators, they should make something like three francophones, 7 anglophones, or better still 6 francophones.
Okay, so I'll take a few messages, and then greetings to all the gentlemen in the panel. Really want the militants, really what the militant is saying concerning the founding fathers is right. Pa Ni John was given that position, for he was then a bookseller, and he was a neutral being to stand at that post. Let peace reign, wishing we have more weavers in the party. This one says, I would like to have the number of your consultant, Pastor Ambe. I really want to discuss Pan-Africanism with him. Okay, that Francophone is right. Frundi is not an original founding father. He was co-opted to launch the party when no original founding father was courageous enough to do it. Your consultant is also right. The crux of the matter is the battle for succession between O.C. Joshua and Jean-Michel Ninche, and their blood started when Frundi influenced the choice of O.C. over Ninche. I'm not sure that choice was influenced. Anybody who says he was influenced did not leave the convention in Bamenda. I was in Bamenda. It was not easy to win the least position at the Congress Hall. I was there from start to finish. To win any single position in Bamenda was very, very difficult. Good evening. And the persons that Nietzsche OC stood against, they were also they were heavyweights. I was there. I saw the convention in Bamenda from start to finish. I think it was 5 days. Yeah. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. And Co. Frundi should be given a serious tap on the back. I remember when the Anglophone crisis started, he did a lot to make sure that it should not go offhand. I remember a day in this city in 2018 when he drove his Sequoia Jeep to commercial. Il faut faire. Il y a deux factions. Les gens sont au parquet. L'honorable Nietzsche, qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire pour faire régner l'ordre et que tout le monde rentre dans la maison?
Oui, bon, avant de répondre à votre question, qui est d'ailleurs une question centrale, très importante, je voudrais préciser un peu les contre-vérités que mon camarade Chi a dit. La première chose, j'ai été élu secrétaire régional à la communication, je n'ai jamais bénéficié d'une nomination dans mon parti. Et que jusqu'ici, je n'ai pas mon poste, le comité exécutif donc, qui a été élu avec moi ensemble n'a pas été dissous, puisqu'on conteste cette décision au niveau du tribunal, on attend la décision du juge. Et ça, c'est donc, je reste secrétaire régional élu et non pas ancien, comme il dit format. Jusqu'à la prochaine élection, à la prochaine conférence régionale, qu'on va élire un autre secrétaire régional à la communication à ma place. Pour le moment, je jouis de toutes les prérogatives dues à cette fonction au sein de mon parti. Ça, c'est évacuer ça. Et de deux, l'honorable Nietzsche, il a dit une chose incroyable. L'honorable Nietzsche ne s'est jamais prévalu d'un autre titre que celui de président régional SDF littoral et de député SDF à l'Assemblée nationale. Tout ce qu'il a raconté, donc je ne me souviens plus très bien de ces détails, ce n'est que des balivernes. Parce qu'en réalité, il lui manque, c'est un jeune qui est trop pressé, mais malheureusement, il a choisi un mauvais chemin, celui des mensonges. Tu veux réussir dans la vie, quand on est encore jeune, il faut être sur la ligne, sur la droite ligne, et non pas de vouloir mentir et de vouloir manipuler. J'ai peur pour son avenir politique, parce qu'il risque de prendre la retraite très tôt à cet allure, parce qu'il va très vite, il va aller trop vite dans le mensonge. Et pour revenir à votre question, je voudrais me la rappeler, s'il vous plaît.
Qu'est-ce qu'il faut faire pour faire rentrer tout le monde dans la maison? Voilà.
C'est ce qui devait se faire. Vous savez, quand on a donné à l'honorable aussi dans le littoral 8-2, arrivé à Bamenda, parce qu'au niveau de la région, on propose le NEC valide. Arrivé au NEC, parce que lui-même a pris la voie de l'escalade.
Il faut qu'on s'attende à quoi maintenant?
Non, il est trop tard parce que actuellement le chemin a choisi la voie de l'escalade.
Les gens sont
donc
en train
on
de
va
suivre.
Laisser maintenant la justice a fait pendant dans la justice, le juge va lire le droit. Si c'est lui qui a raison, il aura raison. Et si c'est les autres, ils auront raison. Donc on est là et inexorablement vers la dislocation totale du parti que le chairman lui-même a décidé de voir. Parce qu'il en a fait du SDF, sa vache à lait. Il a décidé de faire du SDF, sa vache à lait.
Contrary to him, the SDF is a political party. It has nothing to do with court matters. When he has to do it, they are not the first to be given to be excluded from the party. Why is it that?
No, he has not been excluded.
I mean, they the 23, we're supporting the G27. Those are internal issues. Laissez-moi parler. I want to talk. You know, allow me to talk. What he's saying is irrelevant.
Il a dit qu'il y avait 10 personnes dans la région, on a nommé le Ram Nietzsche. C'est faux. Le Ram Nietzsche n'a jamais refusé d'aller renouveler. Non. C'est un gros mensonge. J'allais même oublier ça. C'est un gros mensonge. Est-ce que c'est ça donc qui donne le proto chairman? Quand il met 10 régions en coordination, il nomme donc 10 présidents de commission de coordination qui sont des anglophones, en plus de ça qui sont du nord-ouest. Donc il n'y avait pas un autre francophone qui peut nous nommer.
Parce qu'il a perdu,
plus grave. Bon, voilà. C'est devenu donc un parti de demande. C'est un message simple que le chairman envoie aux autres Camerounais, aux francophones, que le BIA a nommé même le premier ministre anglophone. Mais moi, si elle prend le pouvoir, même le premier ministre ne sera pas francophone. Et que le statut du
les autres parler.
Je ne laisse pas parce que vous avez tellement parlé. Arrêtez ça. Vous prenez même pour qui?
Vous êtes même d'abord qui?
Et vous-même, vous êtes qui? Vous êtes qu'un militant de bon, je ne veux pas dire des choses désagréables. Non, ça va, c'est bon.
J'ai été conseiller ministre en 3 reprises.
Vous ne récemment
en 3 reprises. Tu n'as jamais. J'étais secrétaire de site conseiller pendant 20 ans à Kumba. Allez demander. Et depuis 82, on a gagné les élections.
Vous avez ce que moi j'ai fait à IDEA.
Tu as fait quoi à IDEA? Est-ce qu'on a gagné une commune à IDEA depuis la création des SDF? Tu as fait quoi là-bas?
Il y a les élus à IDEA.
Ah oui, c'est le. On parle des élus. Est-ce qu'il y a un député là?
Let us stop the program.
Et toi, tu as eu un député à Kumba. Tu as eu un député à Kumba.
Pourquoi n'est pas?
Stop the program. Stop the